Hello everyone, this is Introvert Shy Guy and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Okay, so where we left off, we just went into the city with Lily to buy a present for Hanako and stuff happened and I guess now we're gonna go on a little small date, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. I kind of stopped it at some point rather than at a next day or next chapter kind of thing, so that's what happened. Also, quick update is that I actually decided to decrease the sound effects volume. See, sorry, it's right here was kind of full, so I kind of decreased it to that much. Music, I'm gonna keep it the same because music didn't really like bother me that much. It was kind of sound effect. If you remember the last level where we went into like town and there was that traffic sound effects and stuff and it was kind of noisy, it was bothering me a little bit. It didn't affect the videos and stuff, that my sound voice was still kind of good. I mean, I guess for some of you guys this was kind of bothersome, so because of this I decided to lower the sound effects and stuff, but music will stay the same because it was actually perfectly fine. It was just the sound effects. So yeah, that's about it. Anyway, today is April the 3rd, so yeah, let's get started. Alright, so, yeah, right here. Alright, there we go. Okay. As the waitress sets the cup of tea and cup of coffee that I'd ordered onto the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Also, just, gotta hold up, I take her. Oh, okay. I just thought because when I actually kind of pressed the file, it didn't respond. Then it responded, but I kind of double tapped again, so I just wanted to make sure if I didn't skip anything. But nothing happened, so yeah. Anyway, truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this. Yeah, I didn't really know. That looked relatively nice. Okay. Having managed to recover a little, Lily tentatively sips at her cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is. Ah, this is wonderful. Hisayo, how did you know that this was... I'd asked for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that it would be her favorite flavor, or at least one she liked. While I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. Oh, he struck out. I mean, it's not struck out like... He did a fantastic choice, I would say. I don't know if striked out was kind of a, like, you know, when you get a strikeout and it's kind of bad, so that's why. I don't know, something like that. I mean, he did a lucky guess, I would say. A lucky decision, not guess. Alright. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream, a tea connoisseur, I am definitely not. It was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? Huh, there you go. She puts her teacup down and gives a tiny nod. That familiar small smile thankfully perched on her face once again. Drinking tea is calming, I think. With the amount you drink, are you sure you're not addicted to it? Caffeine addiction's pretty common nowadays. I mean, bear in mind, I drink soda a lot and stuff, like Coca-Cola and everything, and I never have a caffeine addiction whatsoever. I could still sleep even, you know, with caffeine. Though, not like early and stuff, but even when I sleep late, I can still sleep basically, but you know. I don't know, maybe it is because of the caffeine, but it's not really bothering me or anything, so... Did I ever say I wasn't? She lets out a giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose, and there are worse things to be addicted to. Yeah, true. French vanilla black tea, huh? I'll have to remember that. For a while, we both silently drink. It's comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her, until she sets down her cup. Hisayo, do you mind if I ask you a slightly odd question? That depends on the question, I guess. I was wondering what your favorite color is. Everyone has one after all. I almost reply before realizing why this seemingly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite color, but... She gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving it. I've always had a thing for green. I'd say that's my favorite. Green, is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color? I suppose grass fields and trees in summer, the army as well with camouflage. Oh, that's a strange answer. The army one, you know. Men always seem to like the military. But that sounds like a nice color, a very nice color. She nods her head a little, as if approving of the choice. Considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind... Oh yeah, I forgot she's blind. Wow. I literally forgot, like, about answering about question about color. I completely forgot I was dating a blind girl. Wow. I mean, it just goes to show how normalized she is to me now, so... considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind, labeling it by association seems reasonable enough. Yeah. If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours? Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. White. I'm told that's the color of snow and of ice cream. You're no better than me then. If you only like that color because of a favorite food, I guess white is nice too, though. And speaking of colors, it'll be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Lily offers her hand, which I take in mine to help lever her up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. It doesn't seem to bother her at all, though. While it seems obvious why, it feels like just one more ladylike aspect to her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this. Oh, thank you, Hisayo. She gives an earnest smile at the gesture, a reward much greater than that of her words. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly, probably because of the day's events. While I'm still concerned over Lily's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact that I managed to cheer her up even slightly feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before. That was a date, wasn't it? Haha, I knew it! It was. That doesn't elude either of us, the question's answer being so self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I don't think this feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is, I certainly can't be sure, but it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding, empathy, searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult nonetheless. Would you like to do this again sometime, Lily, without shopping for presents? The tentative question is met with the same look from Lily as before. Her pale skin makes the rosy tint of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable, and her face, though still pointed to the street ahead of her, lowers just a little. Okay. And that's it. I could have just gone for a little bit last time and, like, you know, just stopped right there, but that's okay. I walk down the hall of the girls' dormitories, my school bag in hand. A doll lies inside, carefully placed on top of a small box. I've been carrying the box in there for a while now, still not sure of what to do with it. This whole situation, come to think of it, is bizarre. While I've known of Hanako's upcoming birthday party for a while now, I had no idea of exactly what the celebrations would be until I found a single note left in the abandoned tea room earlier today. Excuse me. I hold it up and read it again, double-checking the instructions. The plain black handwriting, fairly legible despite Lily's blindness, clearly thanks to considerable effort and care. Hisayo will be holding a party at my place. Please come at 6 o'clock to room 225 in the girls' dormitory. Sorry for notifying you this way, but I have class representative duties. Lily Satao. Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dormitory room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually give 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can just pick out Hanako and Lily's voices. As they finish, Lily calls out, "Might that be Hasayo?" "Yep, I got the note you left for me." You can come in, the door is unlocked." Glad that I managed to get the right room, I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. Huh? Oh, how nice. Wow, Lily sits at a low table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in only my normal school clothes, I feel quite out of place. I just realized this is his first time being in a girl's room. And also girls in pajamas. You know, I forgot to mention about, like, when I ever talk about girls and stuff, I said one time in Warrior World about going into a girl's room. I should have said about seeing a girl in her pajamas because, you know, obviously I'd love to see one, like, naked for sex, but one with a pajama I've never seen before, so, you know. Anyway. I steal a quick glance at the lovely side of the two, my eyes tearing themselves from Lily's long, thin, and pale legs only with a measure of reluctance. Hi, I think I brought everything that was needed. She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sights she makes. The thin dark blue silk of her pajamas really suits her, accentuating both her eyes and her curves. Damn, she's fucking sexy. The look of her last night, that tentative and almost shy demeanor, seems all but replaced by her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence returned, though I can't help casting my mind back to how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite her in her gown. It isn't a surprise that she'd wear something so conservative, though it definitely looks cute. Hi Hanako, happy birthday! Thank you. She's unusually skittish despite the fact that she's warmed up to me considerably over the weeks we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess. You know, I'm assuming he's meeting them and it's a weekend? Because why else would he wake up in the morning in their pajamas? I mean, like, do they went through class or something? I don't know. I'm really guessing the time that this is taking place. Either it's on a weekend or it's after all the classes or way before that. I think it's like in the early morning, I guess. I don't know. Feel free to take a seat, Hasayo. I'll just pour you two some tea. Sure thing. Oh, now it's like in real life. Lily takes the steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups as I take a seat beside them, setting my bag against the nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realize that this is the first time I've ever been in Lily's room. Haha, yes! First time in a girl's room. The first thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume or nail polish. It could be anything of a girl's, really. Another is the plain nature of the room, visually. Beige walls, a smart yet unadorned cabinet, the lack of posters or wall hangings. It's distinctly utilitarian, or something I should have anticipated given her blindness. You know, even in my room, I don't have any posters on my wall at all. As a matter of fact, the only thing that I have is just a nice little collection of Mario toys lined up in a row, because when I was little I was a huge Mario fanboy. I did mention that in Why I Love Mario and Metroid, and I was a huge Mario fanboy back then, so yeah, but that's like the only thing I have in my room. Everything else is like, the walls are not decorated, and it's painted blue, but that's about it. So yeah. And as of expected, of course, her room would be plain, because, you know, she's blind. I know the game already said that, but I don't know. The only thing that really seems out of the ordinary is several piles of books sitting on the floor, each reaching from roughly knee height to waist height. Some of them have printed titles, others are entirely blank except for dots of braille. The fact that the ones with printed titles are uniformly in English is interesting, though not completely unexpected. She did mention her parents impressing the language upon her and Akira after all. Your room looks nice, Lily. I hear a call of thanks from beside my shoulder. Looking back to Hanako, her gaze is fixed on her lap and her hands are nervously clutching her gown. It's now that I notice why. With these clothes on, the extent of her scarring is far more visible, reaching down her neck and out to cover her right shoulder. Considering this is a party for her, she doesn't really look like she's enjoying the experience now that I'm here. So how old are you turning? 18? Her look of surprise, not at all helped by her total lack of skill at hiding her feelings, shows that she was trying to mentally tune me out. This is really quite awkward. Yes? On the plus side, there's only 2 more years till you can drink. So who's older, you or Lily? Because, you know, legal drinking age in Japan is 20. Lily, she had her birthday in February? What about yours? Earlier this year, so it's already passed. Unstated is that it passed while I was stuck in the hospital. That was a particularly low point of the experience. Conversation with her dries us up as quickly as expected. It isn't long before Lily's finished preparing our drinks, setting down the 3 teacups in front of us. I pick mine up immediately, noticing a much stronger aroma and taste than the tea we've been having. It tastes different than the tea we have in school. It's a different variety, not variety. I don't know why I said variety. Rather than the kind we've been having there, you've never tasted orange Jaipur before. Not that I can remember. I usually drink coffee after all, like when we were in town. This is nice though. As we settle down and sip, Hanako seems to become more relaxed, or at least a bit less tense about my presence. We all finish our cups at about the same time, with Hanako failing rather badly at hiding her anticipation for the cake that's sitting to the side, begging to be eaten. Come to think of it, I'm feeling very eager myself. First things first, though. Also, I just realized something. You know how like, you know, she's able to notice about her being in pajamas and like her body showing her scars and everything. She's actually self-conscious about her body. I wonder if Lily would feel the same way. I mean, considering that she's blind, so she doesn't even know the male anatomy. I mean, she probably knows the basics, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm just wondering if she'd feel shame in terms of like nudity and stuff. Not shame, but embarrassment. But you get the idea, you know. Yeah, first things first, though. Lily? Yes, now is good. Each of us knowing exactly what the other means, I lean sideways and dig around in my bag for the doll I bought Hanako as Lily gets up and retrieves her gift. Hiding our gifts in our hands, we present them both on the table at the same time. Happy birthday, and I'm not going to say that, it's the same thing. Hanako silently sits looking at them for seconds on end out of sheer surprise. My little wooden doll, replete with Victorian-era dress and little hat, lies next to a light brown and fluffy stuffed bear from Lily. She clutches at her gown as she moves to speak, not taking her eyes off the modest presents. Thank you, Lily and Hasayo. Her voice begins to crack as Lily reaches forward, wrapping her in a soft embrace. Oh my god, this is so nice. I love it. The sight of Hanako holding Lily so tightly is heartwarming, so much so that I couldn't wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. God, I wish this was real life. I would feel the exact same way looking at 2 attractive girls hugging. As Lily gently rests her face on Hanako's head, she speaks so quietly and softly that I can barely hear. Happy birthday, Hanako. Happy birthday. Hanako gives a small nod, holding on to Lily for a time before breaking off and wiping an eye. I guess that for Hanako, simply having anyone to be there and love her would be special. The fact that Lily and I can now share that role for her is something I think I will always be grateful for. Hanako gently takes the doll and teddy bear, holding them both to her chest as she warmly smiles. For a long time, all three of us simply sit in happy silence. The quiet is not broken until Lily's soft voice beckons. Shall we have at the cake then? Her proposal is met with 2 looks of unhidden anticipation. No arguments for me. No argument for me. No S. Okay. Oh my god, that was so sweet. Phew, that was good. I contentedly sit back, both Lily and Hanako looking just as satisfied with the food as I. Excuse me. It took some effort, but we managed to finish off the cake in one go. I don't think I could fit any more in. I think next time I'll buy a smaller cake. Hanako and I give a chuckle, but I can't help notice that come this time next year, we'll have graduated from Yamaku. That fact is somewhat depressing, since I finally feel as if my life is starting to get back into some kind of order. Idly looking around Lily's neat and orderly room, her books catch my eye once again. This may be a little impetuous, but my curiosity gets the better of me. Besides, I don't think she'll mind in any case. Hey Lily, do you mind if I take a look at one of your books? You're quite welcome to, Hisayo. That said, if you can overcome 2 language barriers, I will be quite impressed. 2, Braille, and... oh right, English. Oh yeah, I forgot, he's Japanese. She gives a nod. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. One could say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection. She says it in jest, but I am a little disappointed. Having all these books around me with no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over the closest pile, plucking the topmost book with only a cursory glance. Death on the Nile in large letters on the cover is the only printed text to be seen. I sit down for a while with the book open on my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might to feel out the dots of Braille printed on each page, they seem to blend into one another and become indistinct. I thought this to be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice though, I could see someone with a better sense of touch than mine, managing to read at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence that had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong? Quite the opposite, your curiosity is quite endearing. I am ordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act. To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you were a new transfer student from another school. If you'd pitied us, I would have been quite offended. There's a certain edge to Lily's voice, one that I'd quite possibly place as pride. Glancing over to Hanako, she seems even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. I wouldn't worry about that. Considering the position I have found myself in, I'm perhaps the last person that should be dispensing pity on others. My parents' first interactions with me after my heart attack, I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any further, but not soon enough. Both of the girls seem to be put off, Lily especially. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I've come to easily recognize. hear something? Someone was knocking on the door, obviously. The door. Everyone looks towards it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns a flash of yellow and black slipping through. It's her sister, right? Yes, it is. Akira Satao in the house. Happy birthday, Hanako. Ah, thank you. Akira takes a seat at the table as she plops her tall bag beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before, not a huge surprise given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be the least bit put off by Hanako's scarring, despite its prominence, but she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you'd have to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Kinda. I feel bad about ditching the guys doing overtime, so I gotta get back soon. But I felt bad about not coming to your cute little Hanako's birthday too, so for now I'm here. She grins widely at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downwards toward her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and retract over and over, as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than when she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her appreciation to any great extent. Not that many people give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes me respect how well Akira can handle her, making her so happy compared to what little I could do. Now then, before I go... She reaches into the bag beside her and grandly displays its contents. Oh, is that wine? Or 2 wines? Out come 2 large glass bottles, both with long French names on the labels. Hanako's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Akira, this isn't... What is it? Wine. 1 red, 1 white. Akira, that's illegal. Relax. It's not like Shizune's here to scold you. Lily has a point. That's not exactly allowed on campus. Oh yeah, because it's a high school. I'm kind of forgetting. I thought this was a college for a sec. Because obviously, when you're in college, I mean, you're allowed to have alcohol, unless if you're under the age of 21, of course, but once you're past that, then you're free to do whatever you like. But yeah, I forgot this takes place in a high school. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Yeah. Rich words for someone practically drooling as he examines a bottle. She got me there. I am genuinely interested in trying some. Even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell me that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Also, as for me, I'm not really a huge fan of wine, but I can tolerate white wine. So yeah, I'll be drinking the white wine, but honestly I'd only do that just to get drunk, because I love getting drunk. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight that she knows Akira would win due to simply not caring enough about those funny rules and regulations. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please, I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. So soon, but you only just arrived. Sorry, Lily, good to see you two again, though, and you, Hisayo. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. And there she goes. She levers herself up with a grunt and waltzes out of the room, leaving us alone with the 2 items on the table. Interesting. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So... excuse me, what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She really doesn't seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. No sooner does she say it that I take a quick glance around the room for glasses.